Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
There is one update in the business session today. So, for those of you who don't know, now our district, area, and division have changed. So, we are now a part of District 227, Division D, Area 2. So, continuing forward, we will be part of this. Previously, we were part of District 121, but now the entire thing has changed. Other than that, there are no updates. Over to Toastmaster Shuba for the BP update.
We have to change it to 221, 227. There is a big change. Otherwise, no change, you said.
So will we get a new?
No, it's up to you. You ask the district. You ask the district. It was given by the district. So what we should do with the, or otherwise we have to put a patch on that.
With the
Blue patch. Put the white on the 121. Cover it with blue ink, and it gets merged with the background. And on that, if you want to put a sticker, a 227. Sticker, you can get it made properly.
Okay, first I'll ask the district and then.
Yeah.
Over to Toastmaster Shuba.
Fellow Toastmasters, regarding the role takers update for next week, 2 speech slots have been booked, one by Toastmaster Aparna and another one by DTM M U Bhat. Regarding MTG roles, the role of table topic master has been booked by Toastmaster Apoorva and general evaluator by Toastmaster Latha. All other roles are open. Please reach out in case anyone's interested. That's it from my side.
Thank you, and over to the Sachin.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I am so excited. You know, today I am serving, this is my first meeting serving as a Sergeant at Arms. So I am so excited. Before we begin our meeting, I would request everyone to keep your phones on silent mode or switched off mode. I'll give you 5 seconds time. Ready? Today's theme is Pause to Progress. Interestingly, my last speech titled with Just Pause, and I ended that speech with Life will not remove slopes. People will not stop honking. Before you react, just pause. 2 days ago, I have witnessed this statement again. 15 of us, office colleagues, we went for a Coorg trip. We were travelled in 9 bikes and 2 cars. At 8 p.m., we were riding on the forest road from Malegiri route. At 8 p.m., we wanted to reach the resort at the earliest because the campfire and food was waiting for us at resort. Suddenly, a huge elephant walked into the road. At that time, everyone stopped. We were looking at. We took a pause. No one was reacted. No one was racing again. We waited until the elephant crossed, and then we started again our journey. That moment, something reminded me. Pause is not a delay. It is the safest way to move forward. Whether it's a life, or whether it's an office, or whether it is a Toastmaster. A thoughtful pause will make us feel confident and courage to take next steps. With that note, I would like to invite someone who is currently pursuing a degree in computer science. She is an avid reader and a passionate traveler and wonderful person who enjoys dancing, singing and painting. In Kannada, sayings goes, Kirti chikkadadaru, Murti doddadu. She is a true example for this. Without much delay, with a huge round of applause, please join me in welcoming our new president, Toastmaster Shreya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for that very energetic introduction. First, I see a few guests in the room, so I request you to please stand from where you're seated and tell us a bit about how you got to know about the club. This side.
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Pavana. I'm currently studying engineering EC in BRMIT 7th sem. So I got to know from my sir, who is Veerabhadrappa, who is currently here. So I'm starting as a guest today. That is my information.
I hope you have a great time.
Thank you.
Good evening, one and all. I am Deva. I am a civil engineering serving in military engineering services. This is my second time here. So I got to know about this few years back and I joined here.
With that, I would now like to call upon our Secretary Toastmaster Aadishway to read out the minutes of meeting number 1374 and 1375.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, here are the minutes of the meeting number 1374 held on 29 June 2026. The theme was Buy Now, Pay Later. Word of the week, Zealous. The business session started at 6:23 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Apoorva TR with the announcement on the selected members of the executive committee for the upcoming term. The next scheduled meeting, Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Sachin started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to the President Toastmaster Apoorva. The President opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Darshan. The Master of Ceremonies spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Chethan, our counter Toastmaster Shuba, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Midhun, Grammarian Toastmaster Jyothi. The following speakers delivered their prepared speeches. Toastmaster Deepa Level 3 Project 1 from Motivational Strategies and evaluated by DTM Subramanian. Second speaker Toastmaster Shreedevi Level 4 Path 1 Effective Coaching and the evaluator was DTM M U Bhat. And speaker 3 Toastmaster Shreya Level 4 Project 1 from Dynamic Leadership and the evaluator was Toastmaster Ujwal. This was the following table topic session conducted by Toastmaster Madhusudan and had the following speakers. Toastmaster Aparna, Toastmaster Aadishwar, DTM A K Prabhakara, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, Toastmaster Ajay, Toastmaster Malegiri, Toastmaster Chakravarthy, Toastmaster and Toastmaster Midhun. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Latha. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker, Toastmaster Deepa, Best Evaluator, Toastmaster Ujwal NK, Best TAPG Role Taker, Toastmaster Jyothi, Best MTG Role Taker, Toastmaster Darshan and Best Table Topic Speaker, Toastmaster Sneha. The President closed the meeting at 8:29 p.m. followed by the national anthem. Here are the minutes of the meeting number 1375 held on 6th July 2026. The theme was Passing the Baton. The meeting started at 6:24 p.m. The Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sachin started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Apoorva. President Toastmaster Apoorva opened the meeting, delivered her outgoing presidential address. She concluded her address by thanking her mentors for having helped her in her journey and introduced the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Shreedevi. Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Shreedevi, recognized and welcomed the dignitaries. Senior General Manager of Mekon Limited, Mr. B.G. Sajid, and invited him to address the gathering. Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Shreedevi, spoke on the theme and introduced the Installation Officer, Toastmaster Mitchell Jaswal, Area Director of Area 1, Division D, District 227. The Installation Officer discharged the officers in the existing Executive Committee from their duties and installed new officers. The existing Executive Committee discharged from Jan to June 2026 were following. President Toastmaster Apoorva TR, Vice President Education Toastmaster Shreya, Vice President Membership Toastmaster Shuba Subramaniam, Associate Vice President Membership Toastmaster Madhusudan S, Vice President Public Relations Toastmaster Darshan, Associate Vice President Public Relations Toastmaster Jyothi, Secretary Toastmaster Ujwal NK, Treasurer Toastmaster Chethan, Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Sachin and Associate Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Darshan. The new Executive Committee installed from July to December 2026 are following. President Toastmaster Shreya, Vice President Education Toastmaster Shuba Subramanian, Associate Vice President Education Toastmaster Chethan, Vice President Membership Toastmaster Jyothi, Vice President Public Relations Toastmaster Darshan, Secretary Toastmaster Aadishway J, Treasurer Toastmaster Chethan, Associate Treasurer Toastmaster Sneha Reddy, Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Deepa Reddy, Associate Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Dharmendra Singh. The incoming President Toastmaster Shreya delivered her presidential address along with a plan for July to December 2026. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Raja Prasad and had the following speakers: Toastmaster Latha, DTM Ramdal, Toastmaster Ujwal NK, DTM Subramanian, and DTM M U Bhat. The quarterly newsletter with the theme Expressions was released by the past BPPR team Toastmaster Rachna, and Toastmaster Jyothi, along with outgoing President Toastmaster Apoorva, DTM M U Bhat and DTM Ramdar. Outgoing President Toastmaster Apoorva announced the winners of the term and handed over the certificates. The winners of the term were Toastmaster of the term, Toastmaster Latha, Best Newcomer of the term, Toastmaster Aparna Pathak, Best Speaker of the term, Toastmaster Darshan and Toastmaster Ajay, Best Table Topic Speaker of the term, Toastmaster Chethan, Best Evaluator of the term, Toastmaster Ujwal MK, Best TAPG Role Taker of the term, Best TAPG of the term, Toastmaster Aadishwar, Best MTG of the term, Toastmaster Chethan, Maximum Role Takers TAPG, Toastmaster Dharmendra Singh, Maximum Role Takers MTG, Toastmaster Latha. The best Toastmasters of each month were following: January, Toastmaster Shuba Subramaniam; February, Toastmaster Raja Prasad; March, Toastmaster Jyothi Rao; April, Toastmaster Toastmaster Deepa Krishna; May, Toastmaster Sakshi Gupta; and June, Toastmaster Shreedevi Nayak. Level completion certificates were handed out to the following members: Toastmaster Lalana Murthy for completing level 1 in presentation mastery; Toastmaster Darshan Onkar for completing level 1 in persuasive influence; Toastmaster Latha for path completion in a mentorship program; Toastmaster Deepa Krishna Reddy for completing level 2 in motivational strategies; Toastmaster Aadishway for completing level 2 in presentation mastery; Toastmaster Ajay Rao completing level 1 in dynamic leadership; and Toastmaster Midhun for completing level 1 in presentation mastery. The President closed the meeting at 8:25 p.m. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aadishway, for that very intensive report on the minutes of meeting. Is the minutes of meeting of the previous two meetings accepted? If so, then I will declare it as accepted and open meeting number 1376. June 2022 was when my CET exam was to be scheduled. I was completely unprepared, so 1 month before the exam I started preparing very intensely. 12 to 14 hours of studying a day was not easy, but I was so scared of going to a bad college that it motivated me to study that much. I remember one day, 1.5 weeks before my exam, my aunt called my mom and she invited our whole family to go to the mall with her. She was going to go shopping and she wanted some company. My mom came and told me, and I immediately started complaining. What? The whole evening wasted at a mall when I could be studying instead. Why would I want to go? Unfortunately, I was dragged to the mall against my will. Angry at everybody, I completely stopped talking. My dad, who is a very humorous person, he started cracking an annoying amount of jokes to try and cheer me up, and eventually after some time I just had to give in and laugh, and my mood lightened. I enjoyed the rest of the day with my family. It was only after I went home that I realized how relaxed and at peace I felt. For the first time in 2 weeks, I had the best sleep ever, and I went back to studying the next day feeling more focused and rejuvenated than ever. Taking a pause or a break at such a time, especially when you're burnt out, can help you feel relaxed and go back to whatever task you were working on with more focus and energy. But a pause only helps you progress if it is taken for the right reasons. Case in point, lockdown started back in 2020 after my 10th board exams had ended. There were about 3 months of break between when lockdown started and my 11th online classes were going to start. And in these 3 months, I did absolutely nothing. I was just lazing around all day, eating, sleeping, watching movies. I did nothing productive. I was so used to doing nothing that when my online classes actually started, I found it difficult to do anything, be it sitting through classes, studying, or even doing a simple assignment. I would start an assignment, get bored in like 10 minutes, decide to take a 5-minute break. That break would go on and on for 2 or 3 hours, and finally, I would take 5 hours to finish an assignment that should have only taken me 1 hour. So, It is these two incidents that made me realize the difference between when you should take a break and when you should not. If you look at it at face value, it looks the same. I was exhausted and I took a break. The first incident, when I took a break in the middle of my CET preparation, I was very exhausted, but I knew that I had something to go back to, and when I had to go back to that. My exam was in 1.5 weeks, and I knew that that break wouldn't extend beyond that evening. But in the second case, after my 10th exams, I didn't have a plan going forward, and I didn't have a timeline of when this break would end and when the next thing would start for me. So without this plan, that break just stretched on indefinitely and led to me doing nothing and having no motivation to start anything either. So because of these two incidents, I realized that actually taking a pause doesn't cause any problems. It is not having anything to go back to after that break that causes problems. If you take a break without having any end goal in mind, without having any plan forward, that break will just extend indefinitely like it happened to me, and when that happens, it's very difficult to find a motivation to start something again. So, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, next time when you decide to take a pause, don't just ask yourself if it's necessary or not. Also ask yourself what plan comes next, what goal is next, and when should that start. Because a pause only helps you progress if you have another reason to start again. With that, let me introduce the person who gave us this lovely theme today. She is a Learning and Development Head at Allen for the South India campuses. She has done her BTech in Mechanical Engineering and her MBA with a specialization in Human Resources. She loves talking to different people and learning from their stories. And when she wants to take a pause, she loves doing things like traveling, cooking, mandala art, playing the guitar, and watching a movie or a TV show. So with a huge round of applause, please help me in welcoming the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Sakshi Gupta.
Thank you, President, for that lovely introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. A few years ago, a young woodcutter was determined to prove himself. Every morning, he rushed towards the forest along with his axe and worked tirelessly until sunset. He rarely took breaks, believed that stopping meant falling behind. On his first day, he cut around 20 trees. On the second day, around 18 trees. And by the end of the week, he cut around, he even after working effortlessly with more efforts and even harder, he could barely cut 10 trees. Feeling confused and frustrated, he noticed an elder woodcutter who used to take rest under the tree, and he used to spend part of his day under the tree taking rest. Even though he was able to cut most of the trees as compared with other woodcutters. The young man finally asked him, "How do you produce more when you spend so much time resting?" The old man smiled and replied, "Every hour I stop to sharpen my axe. While you are working hard, I am working smart." The answer changes everything. Progress is not just about working hard, it's about working wiser. Too often, we get busy chasing targets, promotions, deadlines, responsibilities, and we forget to pause. We assume that being constantly busy means we are making progress. I found myself in exactly the same situation as the young woodcutter. Even after returning home from work, I used to think about the deadlines, meetings. I was still in the race of next day tasks. I had left office physically, but mentally I was still there. That's when I finally decided to take a break and went for a vacation. Not to escape my work, but to sharpen my edges. When I returned, I was full of energy. I had greater clarity, better focus, and renewed enthusiasm to work. It proved me that pausing to progress is far more effective than simply pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion. This idea of pausing to progress is not just true for individuals. It had shaped some of the greatest movements in the history. In 1924, Ramsay Smedley saw that people have ideas but struggle to communicate effectively, and that's how he took a pause, reflect, and then act with purpose. He started with Toastmasters International, and till now, more than millions of people have been associated and learned from this initiative. As we reflect on today's theme, pause to progress, let us remember that taking a break is not a setback. It's an opportunity to sharpen your skills, refresh your minds, and prepare yourself for the next step forward. Because sometimes the shortest pause leads to the greatest progress. For the benefits of new members and guests, let me tell you how a typical Toastmasters meeting works. It is divided into 3 dynamic segments. The first section is prepared speeches session, where members prepare for their speeches according to their guidelines, their projects. The second section is table topic section, where we learn impromptu speaking, where we challenge our minds on the spot. And the third section is general evaluation session, where we learn the constructive feedback, which helps us keep growing. To help in the proper conduct of this meeting, we have our structural role takers, the TAPG team. I would like to call upon our TAPG role takers to stand and briefly introduce their respective roles. Let's give it up for our timer for today, Toastmaster Kiran.
Hi, good evening to all the Toastmasters for the day, the fellow Toastmasters and the guest. I am Kiran, and I'm playing a role of a timer, which helps the speaker to maintain their time principles as follows. The speeches for the day is like 5, 6, and 7 minutes, where I have to show my green card on the 5 minutes, and my yellow card on the 6 minutes, and the red card on the 7 minutes, as follows. For the evaluation, it's like 2 minutes, 2.3 minutes, and 3 minutes. And for the table topic is for 1 minute and 1.3, 30 seconds and 2 minutes, as follows. And as follows.
There is an icebreaker for 4 to 6 minutes.
Okay, icebreaker for 4 to 6 minutes.
Our counter for today, Toastmaster Soorya.
Greetings, Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And as the accounter for today's session, I'll take a note of commonly used expressions, which is the overuse of commonly used expressions, filler words, and repeated usages of words in general. And towards the end of the meeting, I'll present a report on the same. Thank you.
Our PP for today, Toastmaster Vijay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. To ensure the meeting runs in a smooth manner, I request all you to please adhere to the following rules. Please keep your phones on silent mode. I think we would have already have. And then please refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. And then entry and exit only during applauses, and avoid cross talks, especially when the speaker is behind the lectern. I'll give my report during the general evaluation session.
And our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Sachin.
So good evening everyone. So even though we all know how to speak, there is always room for improvement, right? And there's always an opportunity to do something better. So I as a grammarian today will be observing some of the good usages and some of the not so good usages. So coming to the word of the day, it is assiduous, meaning someone who share great care and relentless attention, persistent effort when doing a task. So I as a grammarian, even I have to pay relentless attention, so I have to be assiduous as well. So usage, my assiduous handwriting made you read word of the day today. So yeah, I'll be observing all the good usages, not so good usages, and also I request everyone to use the word of the day, and I'll give my report during general evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you all the assiduous TAPG role takers. Now let's dive in to our first section, that is the prepared speech section. Before introducing the first speaker, I request their individual evaluator, Toastmaster Ajay, to read out the project guidelines.
Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and the target speaker, Toastmaster Ujwal, is attempting his first speech in the Toastmasters Pathway Visionary Communication. The purpose of this Icebreakers project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluation for the speech and the delivery style. Back to you,
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. Our first speaker is widely known for his evaluations in Toastmasters. By profession, he is a full-stack developer, but he boasts a rich variety of hobbies, including playing keyboard, playing tabla, photography, programming, and going on a bike ride with his father. When I asked him how he paused to reflect or grow, he shared, I believe in two cars, Kabir Tatva and Mankutiman Kag. I pause to seek their wisdom before making any important decision in my life. Let's welcome on stage with his speech titled, Whose Dream? Toastmaster Ujwal. Toastmaster Ujwal, whose dream, Toastmaster Ujwal.
Has your father ever stopped you from throwing an old shoebox? Namaste fellow Toastmasters, fabulous friends and familiar faces. That was an everyday incident at my home, and I never understood why. Until one day the shoebox changed my life. Back as a 10-year-old, my routine was totally different from what was considered natural. The moment I stepped home, my father would take the TV remote, switch it off. This is not the time to consume someone else's ideas. It's time to build your own, he would say. Now my father is a man who has 30 years of experience in software field, but academically he's a mechanical engineer. A man of discipline and a man whose no is where I draw the line. So in exchange for the TV remote, I took up a microcontroller. Instead of the cartoons that everyone watched, I started staring at lines and lines of code. So what do I do with it every day? One day, one project. The other day, jump to next. And every day, a new idea and a new project. One day I had an idea. Is it possible to control these fans, lights, by just sending an SMS? That idea stuck in my mind. Maybe even make the home feel occupied when you're on vacation. I built a small project and put it in front of my parents. This is a project, smart home. I thought I was ready for a place in the attic. My father had one look at it and said, good. The next morning, he knocked. Ujwal, wake up! It was 5:30 in the morning when he woke me up and said, smart home, it's not done yet. By the time I was even up from my bed and opened my laptop, my mother had a steaming cup of milk next to me. Fellow Toastmasters, that is my mother. A person who's ready to sacrifice anything, everything, even her sleep, to make me a cup of coffee so that I don't sleep on the project. A person because of whom I feel my home is a home. A person who's ready to sacrifice anything for us. This became a routine every day. Wake up at 5:30, work on the project. Wake up at 5:30, work on the project. And suddenly, one day, it was done. I went to my father and said, Appa, it's done. My father said, no, it's ready. He made me take the project to my school competition and present it. With full confidence and excitement, I went ahead and presented my project. My friends had one look at it. Shoebox. I don't even want to hear. For the first time, I saw a shoebox through their eyes. Not the efforts that I had put in. Not the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. waking up. Not the persistence. It was only later that I realized that the judge did not see it that way. I landed the first place at not just the school, inter-school, but went on to the state level. At state level, I needed to up my game, a better elevator pitch. To deliver a better elevator pitch, you need to become a better speaker. To become a better speaker, you need audience. My first very audience was my little sister, who was 5 years younger to me, in 3rd grade. Every day, I started presenting my project to her. She used to look up at me, wide eyes, not understanding the thing. Let alone, I didn't understand a thing that I was saying. This went on, and her sacrifice of her playtime, while her friends were screaming at her, were what motivated me to present every day for her rigorous wanting to help me. I went on to the state level, and this time, when all of my friends went to click photos of Andhra, went out to experience the amazing food, went out to experience the glamorous tourist destinations, I was staring at my laptop camera on a video call with my father rehearsing my presentation. Maybe that is why I won. Moving on to the national levels, it was the same routine all over again. Cold stone floor to sleep on with just a mat. Cold water bath in the cold December of Jharkhand. And a cold stone floor to sit on. I was ready for the presentation. I was excited. I was even worried for my presentation. But my father, who sat next to me, was worried about everyone else's presentation. He was looking into their presentation, the reaction of the judges. After every minute, after every presentation, he coached me. This is how you should answer to this question. This is how to approach the question itself. By the time I went to give my presentation, my father probably knew more about the judges than the judges themselves. The next day, we sat on the cold stone floor, waiting for the results. Third place, not my name. Second place, not my name. I lost all hope. I told my father, Appa, let's go home. I just wanted to go home, wrap myself in a blanket, and read my book with a hot cup of milk. That was the only hobby that was running in my mind at that time. The only thing that I wanted to do. And then they called out, first place, Ujwal. I was surprised, even shocked. I stepped up to this podium and received my certificate. I don't look at the certificate. Right there was my name, Ujwal. Was it not the sacrifice that my father had made to his early mornings? What about the sacrifices my mother had made to her sleep? What about my sister who sacrificed her playtime? What about them? Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you this question. Whose dream was it? Master of Ceremonies, whose dream was it that won?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ujwal, for that wonderful speech. Moving on to our next speech, I request the evaluator, Toastmaster Apoorva, to read out the project guidelines.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. The speaker is attempting level 2, project 2 of presentation mastery. The purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice and refine how they use non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Notes for the evaluator. During the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing their body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication. About this speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch for the member's awareness of their intentional and unintentional movement and body language. Note distracting movements as well as movements that enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech is not a report on the content of the effective body language project. Thank you. All the best to the speaker. I'll give my evaluation during the general evaluation. Back to them.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva. Our second speaker is Doctor of Physical Therapy from the University of Montana, USA, specializing in the treatment of back pain, neck pain, and musculoskeletal problems. When I asked him, "How do you pause to recharge yourself?" he replied, "The way I intentionally pause to grow is through my karate practice. The discipline, focus, and mindfulness it demands help me clear my mind, allowing me to return with renewed energy and perspective." Let's welcome on stage with the speech titled "The First Question Every Parent Asks," Toastmaster Midhun. The first question every parent asks, Toastmaster Midhun. Toastmaster Midhun, the first question every parent asks.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. Every Sunday morning, before my karate class starts, I meet parents who wanted to enroll their children for my karate class. Before they walk towards me, I already predict the first question. The children are very excited, but the parents are not really. One parent came towards me and asked, "Is karate really tough? Will my son get injured?" I smiled and replied, "In traditional karate, we don't teach fighting in the initial stage. It takes years of training, then only we teach fighting. The first what we teach is how to respect, how to be humble, how to respect the seniors, what are the basic exercises needed for karate training." I could immediately see a relief in his face. Then came the second question from his mother. "How long will it take my son to get a black belt?" I smiled and replied, "This is the usual question I get it from all the students who comes for training." Karate, the traditional karate, black belt is not very important. Black belt earning is actually when you earn the black belt, then the real training starts. The real learning starts from then onwards. So, to answer your question, many students will take their own long time. Some students can gain, if they practice very well, if they take time, they can earn it in about 5 years. But the journey depends really on the particular student's discipline, training, time which is given, and so on and so forth. To explain that, I called one of my students. "Ajay, please come here. Could you please show me a technique?" "Hi, Sensei." What you just saw is gained from years of training and experience. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes many years of training and discipline. So, it's all about how much effort your child is going to put. Then came the third question. That's the most common question I hear in karate class. "When will my son learn to break bricks?" I smiled. I said, "I don't teach children to break bricks. The traditional karate is not about breaking bricks. It's about building character. The character is built through the years of training, but the after effects may be with so many years of training you may be able to break bricks, but that is not the purpose of karate. Purpose of karate is about building character." Then all parents who come to bring their children for the karate class ask, "Then what will my child learn and gain?" Then I answered, the child, through the training, they become stronger physically. Their muscle become stronger. They learn confidence. Their balance, posture, everything improves. Above all, the actual transformation happens here. The transformation, the focus, the confidence, above all, the character That is what built here. Then came the third question. Will my child become like Bruce Lee? This is the next question. So I smiled and answered, we are not training the kids to become a movie star. What I really don't know whether he'll become a movie star or not, but I know one thing, he will become a better person than yesterday. That is what I can guarantee. Then, will my child learn to protect himself? Yes, we do teach the children how to protect themselves. But that depends on how we train. But our first lesson of teaching is not to fight. The best fight is the one that has never happened. So we train them not to fight, get away from the situation. That is what the purpose of karate. After many years of teaching, what I understood is many parents bring their kids to the karate class for self-defense. But what actually they learn is they learn discipline, confidence, self-control, and above all, building character. That is what they really learn from martial art. Above all, it is about building a better human being. With that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Midhun, for teaching me today, because in childhood my dream was to learn karate to fight with my brother. Now moving on to our third speaker, can we have the project guidelines read out by Toastmaster Chethan?
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his or her team. The purpose of this second speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience managing the project. The member completing this project has committed a great deal of time to developing a project plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech about the member's experience for managing a project. Listen for information about the members learned from planning, building, and leading the team through the completion of their project. Thank you and best of luck to the speaker.
Our third speaker is easily one of my favorite, and I have 3 excellent reasons for that. Reason number 1, she is an HR by trade. Reason number 2, she is a magnificent storyteller who brings incredible dramatics to the stage. And reason number 3, when I asked her how she paused to progress, she said, I do nothing. To show us the power of doing nothing, let's invite on stage with a speech titled Work in Unison, Toastmaster Jyothi. Work in Unison, Toastmaster Jyothi, Toastmaster Jyothi, Work in Unison.
Coming together is beginning. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success, said Henry Ford. Dear Toastmasters and guests, nothing exemplifies this quote than the great success of last year's YLP Youth Leadership Program coordinated by Toastmaster Apoorva. After witnessing it, I was inspired to take up the next one. And so, when this year the opportunity knocked at my door, I seized it without hesitation. YLP is an 8-week initiative by Toastmasters International, introducing teenagers to leadership and communication skills. As teen years are formative, it is both exciting and fulfilling to be a part of shaping up young minds. Our YLP was to begin in the second week of April 2026. The first milestone was to register 18 teenagers. And for this, we started promoting the program in February through word of mouth, social media, and of course, last year's participants were our brand ambassador. Inquiries came in plenty. The challenge was to convince the parents. Most parents were apprehensive because the program coincided with the summer vacation and parents thought the child would miss the few sessions. Assuring them that we would be sharing the videos and updates, we gradually convinced them to register. By beginning of April, we had 17 registrations done. The last one signed up just 15 minutes before the first meeting started. The 18th registration was the result of relentless approach for 3 continuous days. And the 18th registration, I learned that targets are not achieved just by wishing. It takes all our efforts consistently. The second milestone was to build up my team. Apart from the core team which I had spoken about earlier, I needed people who could volunteer for mentorship and evaluation. Around 10 Toastmasters volunteered to take up this role. Few of them committed, they would come to the meeting every week, and few of them took up back-end roles. I must confess here, when I took up this project, I had my own personal motive. I wanted to take up education session, improve my storytelling, and sharpen my evaluation skills. But reality had different plans. The project coordination took a lot of my time than I had anticipated. Weekly preparing agenda, confirming on the progress, confirming on the attendance, and resolving last minute changes took a lot of my time, and I was unable to take up education session. Initially I was very disappointed, but then I realized something vital. Leadership is not about taking up all important role yourself. It is about identifying the right person to do the task much better and enable them to shine. I assigned it to a Toastmaster who did the task with her meticulous preparation and tremendous energy, giving live demonstration, practical demonstration. As she succeeded, as I watched her succeed in her conducting the session, it was as if I had gained that experience. Weekly coordinating with the participants and ensuring their speech was mentored was a puzzle by itself. I understand the mentors who took up the tough task of reaching out to their mentees and giving guidance to the speech that they had prepared. And also my heartfelt appreciation to all the evaluators who took up multiple evaluation and yet precisely and clearly gave each participant the feedback that would help them to progress. In these few weeks, I saw my team members take up roles and responsibilities, be it getting snacks for the meeting or preparing a poster for the agenda, or it could also be the energetic stimulation activity that started at the beginning of each meeting. Each one took up their responsibility much more than my expectations. At that time, I was reminded, leadership is not about giving directions. It's not about only giving directions to the people. It is also about creating an environment that helps them to willingly give in their best. And so, when the final showcase event came, the hall was full with 18 participants, their parents, evaluators, and mentors with other members too. As the teenagers came to the stage to deliver their speech, I witnessed a celebration of teamwork. At the beginning of the journey, I thought I could accomplish on my own capability. But I learned that the credit of YLP success is because as a team, we believed that working together, staying together, and moving forward together or for a common cause will surely lead us to great heights. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi, and thank you all the prepared speakers for the wonderful speeches and which were thought-provoking for all of us. I must tell Toastmaster Jyothi that the 18th participant was sent by me. Now we move to our second major section for today's meeting, that is the table topic session. The session that actually forces us to pause, think, and react in real time. Our table topic master for today is a skill development trainer by profession. She holds a BCom, PGDM, and a learning and development certification from Ripples. Her favorite way to pause to progress are through cooking, reading, dancing, and drumming. Let's put your hands together and welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Latha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshi, for adding drumming. My latest interest, what has come up in life right now. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
The theme today, pause to progress. I think this is one trait we really need to inculcate in ourselves, because in this ever fast moving paced life, we are forgetting how to pause, understand what we want, and how to progress. And today all the table topics are going to be around this particular theme itself. There is no right or wrong answer today. We are all here to practice, and sometimes the best progress is just showing up and speaking from the heart. Take your time. You are welcome to pause before answering or before starting. Okay? Now let us start the table topic session. Are you all ready?
Yes.
The most exciting part of the table topic session in Toastmasters meeting anytime. Yes. My first topic is, I'm going to give a topic and a little explanation to it so you get an idea on what you need to speak about. The second chance. Has there ever been a time when you failed, stopped, and then tried again with a completely different approach? Has there ever been a time when you failed, you stopped, and then tried again with a different approach? So what was the result of it? So we need to talk about that. And this topic goes to Distinguished Toastmaster M U Bhat.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Whenever you take up some project, pausing is very important. This and rethinking what went wrong so that we can do something different. Because as someone said, the height of foolishness is to do the same thing again and again and expect a different result. So we have to think, rethink and do something different. Probably one thing where I can relate to this particular statement was my experimentation with or my learning with the Hindustani vocal. I was a disciple of Pandit Sheshadri Goyal, but from the beginning, one thing which I had not realized was that my scale was about 5 notes below C. There is something like A sharp or G sharp or A or A sharp, which I did not realize. And I was struggling with that and not reaching anywhere. So I was thinking I'm unfit. I never gave any performance anywhere, not even in close circles. But then, many years back, when I took it, when there was a COVID attack, there was nothing better to do at home. So I was sitting in my keyboard and practicing. Then suddenly I heard one song from Jagjit Singh. He was singing one Hindi song at A sharp, which is normally male singers always sing on either C or C sharp or D. And he was singing at A. And then I thought, oh, why did it not strike to me? I can sing lower scales very easily. So the next day I started singing at -5, that is about G sharp or G. I thought I tried to, and I put some vocal, I put in WhatsApp my songs and all, and everyone immensely liked it. Yes, you are an amazing singer. Where are you hiding all these things? So that is one thing I realized at that time, that it's necessary that you pause and think what could have gone wrong, and we redo the something in a different approach. Probably that will lead to success in life. With that, back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster M U Bhat. So this is one of the reasons why you need to pause to progress, and we have a couple of more which will help you understand. The next topic is best advice. What is a simple phrase or mantra you tell yourself when you feel you're stuck up somewhere? What is that one phrase, simple phrase or mantra you tell yourself when you're stuck up at some particular thing? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. What is the best advice you give? What is the best mantra you tell yourself when you're stuck up somewhere or you get lost? So what you tell to motivate yourself?
My dear Toastmasters, motivation is my prime job which I am doing in my industry for about 3-4 years. So I don't really agree with the pass. That is my way of working together. When I take up a project, moreover, today's word is assiduous. What is the meaning of assiduous? Relentless. You have to work relentlessly. Where is the pause? Why you want to waste your time by taking pause? I have come across students who are not up to the mark. What I do, I call them, I advise them. Sometimes even though they are graduates, I beat them in a stick. I call them in a room and beat them in a stick. So don't waste your time. Don't waste. There is no pause, my dear friends. Why do you, I don't know who gave that such a pause in progress. Then when there is a pause, there will not be a progress. Take it from me. Take it from me. There is no. See, I started an industry in a garage. I never paused. I moved to a bigger building. I never paused. I moved to a still bigger building. I never paused. I exceeded more than the turnover. I never paused. Even now, I have not paused. I am working at the age of 80 years. If you work relentlessly, assiduously, the success is yours. So when somebody goes wrong, we can advise him. That's all. Don't take pause. Think in a different way. When a problem comes, think in a different way. The way in which you face the problem is a different thing. Think in a different way, then you will get the problem. Then you get the solution. When you don't get the solution, what has to be done, my dear Toastmasters? Accept it. Sea water is very salty. Can you do anything on that one? A person has died. Can you do anything on that one? Never give a pause. Think in a different way and move forward. Success is yours.
This was a very different approach to the theme pause to progress. Thank you so much. You always give variety in your responses. The same thing is like you do not get different perspectives. Thank you so much. Now the next one is the digital detox. The digital detox. How would your life change if you took a 24-hour break from your mobile, from your social media? What do you think will happen after that 24 hours? What do you think will happen after that 24 hours? And this goes to Toastmaster Darshan.
Recently there was a power cut near my house, and so my Wi-Fi stopped working. So for first few minutes I was using my phone on mobile data, and mobile data got over. Then I just sat down and I turned on my TV. I then realized that I just watch my TV online. I don't watch normal TV channels. So when TV was not working, phone also not working. So then I called my friend, whom I have never called in my life. So I spoke with him for 5 minutes, and then time was not going at all. When I turn on my TV or use my phone, time goes so fast. But on that day, every minute was feeling like an hour. So I thought to myself, if this continued for today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, what would I do? Like, I would go insane. We are all so much addicted to our phones that we check our phones every 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We think that that is a purpose in our life. Once that is taken away from us, we feel like something is missing. And no person or nothing can replace that feeling. You would go insane. There is no solution for this. So if it happened for 24 hours, I don't know what would happen. I would really be frustrated, and it would be crazy to think. But on the other hand, if this continues for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, we see all things from different perspectives. We start building relationships with our friends. We speak more, we travel more, we go outside for a walk, we interact with our pets, parents, and we realize that we all have phones, but think about our grandparents or the elderly people. They don't have no one. When they speak to us, we just ignore them or we just go away from them. But they don't have access to the phones, they don't know how to use phones. So we should not be controlled by our phones or the internet. We should control that. We should take charge of our life. With that, I hand the charge back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darshan. I think if you also come in a situation where for 5-10 minutes or so Wi-Fi is not working, we do get into a certain stage where you want everything back. So getting to it. Okay, my next topic is the weekend reset. The weekend reset. What is your favorite way to spend a Sunday evening? What is your favorite way to spend a Sunday evening to prepare for a productive week ahead? So what is your favorite way to spend a Sunday evening where you prepare yourself for the week ahead? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Udaya.
She left.
Oh, she left. Okay. Then instead of Toastmaster, okay, the lady who left now, she was Toastmaster there. So for this, then I would like to call upon Toastmaster Aadishwar.
Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So, perfect plan for a weekend to reset myself for a productive week coming ahead. Okay. So before I was very excited for the weekends. I would never think I would rest on the weekends because it used to be school, college, and every day like same routine. So I was like weekends I'd go out with the family, I'd watch movies, this, that. I'll go play the whole day. But now I started going to my dad's office. So going there, I have a full routine, full week's routine. Morning, wake up, go to badminton, come back home, get ready and just go office. Come back in the evening and you're literally tired. You don't have mood to go out, chill with friends, or you're just like tired. You just scroll reels and sleep. And you really plan that okay, weekend I'll go here with my friends here. But then those 5 days of weekdays, tires you. And Saturday you're like, oh, should I go? No, your friend calls you, bro, what's the plan for the weekend? And you're like, clubbing, this, that. No, bro, I need to really, fix my sleep schedule that it's really bad and I can't come out Saturday. You're like, okay, fine. Sunday, what's the plan? Like, bro, if I'm sleeping, then Sunday, obviously I wake up late, right? Why will I come out on Sunday? And now it has become like Sunday, okay, wake up late, either go to play or go to temple and then come back, have a chill day, like spend time with family. And evenings, it can be like, just go out for family dinner or, watch shows. Now I'm like, this 5 days in office and I'm like, oh no, again for tomorrow office. Now also if I go out, when will I sleep, when will I take a rest? So I'm just like, I've become very lazy actually in the weekends and I've stopped making plans, Before I used to initiate plans. I'm like, no bro, just cancel it. You take rest, it's good for your health. And yeah, that's my take on the topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aadishwar. It's actually everyone's situation right now. All of us on the street. The next topic is the art of saying no. The art of saying no. Often we are in situations where we feel we are obliged to say yes to everything what comes in our way. But there are certain situations what you have faced where you have said a no to someone or a situation and that has helped you to move forward. Talk about a situation where you have said a no and that has helped you to move forward. And this topic goes to distinguished Toastmaster A K Prabhakara.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The art of saying no, we learn in Toastmasters every meeting. You can recognize that. We don't say you are wrong. We will say you are not so right. We sugarcoat it and say that it's every meeting, that's what we learn. And we don't say you are, there's a mistake. We said you have to deviate and say, it's not a mistake, you have to correct yourself. So, art of saying no is not to hurt other person, but at the same time make your point very clear. So, art of saying that's why it's called art. Art is not something like a logic, point A to point B. It's not like that. You have to make the other person tell that he himself should. The way you should tell that he should accept what you are telling. You should fall into a kind of trap, saying that okay, what I am telling is right. I will correct myself. So art of saying no is start with reason, I would say. So this is one of my chief engineers at that time when I was, and he taught me this. So when somebody asks you a question, just don't give whatever he asks. Just ask why he wants it. the very task of asking that question makes not only him think, you also think. So for example, I'll give one example, but it's from engineering area. When I was young, one person asked me from different sections, he wanted to know the weight of a 15 kilowatt motor. Okay. So I was about to find out and tell that. My colleague said, my immediate boss said, did you ask him why you want it? No. Then he asked, what is the kind of motor he wants? He said 15 kilowatt. 15 kilowatt? AC or DC? Then I realized, now I'll ask him. So I asked him, AC or DC? That on the phone. He said, my boss, I cannot go to him. He will really get angry because I have to guess whether it is AC or DC. Now you have to help me. Because the weight difference is so much. Then I said that, better you find out and ask me, and otherwise I will be giving you wrong information. So this is how the way to put across is an art. You learn by default, somewhere along deviate, then jump over, go underneath, go sideways, and you learn. And in the process of doing this, you learn to bargain. Next time when I have he seeks help from me, I know I have a bank account with him. Next time I can ask a favor for him. This is how the art, the skill of saying no, but not really saying really no. Over to table topic master.
A very practical approach on how do we say no. Next topic is the power of sleep. The power of sleep. Have you ever gone to sleep with a problem and woken up with the answer? Have you ever gone to sleep with the problem and woken up with an answer? Now tell us about a time when a good progressive sleep helped you with an answer. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Tanish.
Hello Toastmasters, I'm Tanish. This is my first speech, and the topic is about the importance of sleep. And of late, I am more inclined towards health and fitness, and I have learned the importance of sleep, how important it is. Because before this, my sleep schedule was a mess. I used to sleep at 4 a.m. and wake up at around 8, 9. And of late, I would be on bed by 10:30 max, and by 6 or 8, I would be woke up. And trust me when I say this, I feel very refreshed. And having a perfect night routine and a morning routine is non-negotiable for anyone. And morning routine, what I have is I introspect myself, I journal myself, and I read a book, and I spend time with myself. And trust me, you will get an immense clarity on whatever problem or doubt you have. And obviously, waking up at 6 or 5 is the best thing. And in order to wake up early, I really would suggest you to sleep by 10:30, because I just studied about this sleeping late and what it happened, like what kind of disturbance it's going to cause when you sleep post level 30, right? There are brain neurons which kind of depletes if you tend to sleep post level 31 to over a long period of time. And I'm kind of really grateful that I've fixed my sleep schedule, and I would actually recommend you guys to do it. And thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanish, and congratulations on your debut as a table topic speaker. The next topic is the morning ritual. The morning ritual. Now, what is that one small ritual what you do every day when you wake up? That how you are going to spend your whole day. What is that one ritual what you do every day morning and plan up how you are going to spend your whole day? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Chakravarthy.
fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Every day I wake up with a meeting. Student ages from 12 and the seniors till 70. So all are meeting in an online meeting at 5:30 every day. The first prayer I hear it, Ellam Ulla Devamadu, it's a Tamil song which make us very positive and vibrating and make us our day to think peacefully, honestly, and keeping the society with more concerns. So the meeting goes on like with saying Tirukural and then what you have done and questioning the people what you have done yesterday. We take their experience, we learn with that experience, we apply that experience in our regular routine. So this is how the rituals starts every day for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chakravarthy. A very auspicious start every day you have to your morning. The next topic is the slow hobby. The slow hobby. Now, what is that one hobby which helps you to slow down and helps you to recharge? What is that one hobby which helps you to slow down and helps you to get recharged? Something like reading, cooking, painting. These are the slow hobbies which helps you to get recharged. So what is that one hobby that you have which helps you to slow down and get recharged? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Malegiri Das.
What is that one hobby which makes you?
What is that one slow hobby, like reading, cooking, gardening, something like that, which helps you to slow down and think or recharge yourself?
I may not say it as a hobby, but what I would like to call it as a retrospective analysis of how things went by in our day-to-day routine or in a week or in a month. What we call in Kannada as a Simhavalokana. That means take a pause, go look back a week back or step back and see what steps did I follow, and then if there is any room for improvement, then plug it in and again get going. That's called as Simhavalokana or a retrospective. Even at work or at life, this is something which is usually followed. And it's a good way to at least review and take some corrective or improvement steps that are really helpful. That's definitely a productive thing, because even at work, if something goes wrong, then we do an RCA and then we take up all the corrective and improvement actions. So that's how even the life also. If there's anything that's not going the right direction, do a Simhavalokana, get the track going, and then you're good to go for the next set of events. I think that's what we usually prefer to do as part of our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Malegiri Das, for your take on the topic. Next topic is the overdue break. Something what all of us connect very well to. The overdue break. Tell us about a time you kept pushing yourself until you reached a breaking point. What did you learn once you took a pause? What did you learn once you took a pause? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Shuba.
So this topic reminds me of
this one time where I had to design a social media post for a topical day, and it was something related to it was an investment announcement. The company was into recycling, or it was like an STP, sewage treatment plant, but decentralized version, and the whole take was about our waters are polluted, so this is the solution. And that one creative I worked on for 2 entire days, gave like 5 revisions, and nothing was working out, literally nothing. Every time I sent something, the feedback was it's just not working, that was not clear, and I just didn't know what to do. And it was also at a time where I was the only designer in the team, and I had no one else to brainstorm with or have a sounding board to think in a different way. And I had reached a tipping point. I had convinced myself that I'm not the best designer on this earth, and I don't know anything. It took a toll on my self-esteem as well. And that's when I just put it aside and I slept. I was like, I cannot crack this, I don't know what's happening, maybe something's wrong with me. And then the next day, I didn't even think about any of this. And then luckily my team lead had come with some ideas herself. The thing is, if people who give you feedback are also confused, it just confuses you more. So that's when that little help from her sort of gave me that motivation to finally crack it after doing so much. But I'm glad I slept without thinking about it that night. And that was, I guess, my purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shuba. I hope you all got 9 different perspectives on how pause to progress works and how it helps us. So here I'm not pausing, but I'm putting a full stop to the table topic session of meeting number 1376, and over to the MC for the day.
Wow, what an amazing, energetic table topic session it was. It was one of those times when I wanted to speak on each and every topic which is asked, and it is rare of the rarest. It happens with me. Moving forward, we are now going to take a short, intentional 10-minute, 5-minute networking break to pause, stretch, and come back completely refreshed for our evaluation block. See you all here in exactly 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you utilize this break to recharge yourself.
Yes.
We will now move to the final segment, that is the general evaluation session. To lead this session, we have a general evaluator who wears many hats. She is CA finalist, a business accounting associate, and is currently pursuing her MA in English and Communication. She has also served with dedication as the president of our club. I personally admire her wonderful teaching style, and her chosen way to take a pause is by practicing the beautiful art of Bharatanatyam. Please welcome our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Shreedevi Nayak.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Sakshi. The meeting today started at 6:20 p.m. and everything went smoothly. It is the first meeting of this new term, and what an energy and what a vibe. So let's give ourselves a huge round of applause. The business session was short and to the point about the new District 227, and the VP gave us her update. And quickly we went to the Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Deepa, the debutante Sergeant at Arms today, SAA kickstarts the meeting and sets the tone for the meeting, and you have set a very high standard as an SAA today. The stage presence you have, the great expressions you give, the good diction and the vocal variety is commendable for the role of a Sergeant at Arms. Very highly energetic, very effective, and it was fully informative, especially the introduction to the President. I really liked how you did that. And the President, when she comes onto the floor, she should feel like a very important person. So if I could give you one feedback in that aspect, when we say the introduction, we're saying, let me introduce you to a person who is a graduate in so and so. So I feel, it's a personal opinion, I feel like you can use adjectives first to describe her, because her educational qualification or her degree or professional work does not define her. So we can probably say, let me introduce you to a person who's very passionate and an inspiring Toastmaster. She has done her engineering in so and so. Like that would add value and make her feel even more important when she's coming behind the lectern. And also another small feedback, you had a Kannada phrase that you used, Kirti Chikkadadru, continue after that. I felt like you should have translated it, because although we all understood and we laughed about it, there might be some audience members who wouldn't. So I think that should be taken care of next time. But that doesn't take away from a wonderful job that you've done. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Minutes of the meeting, Toastmaster Aadishwar, very meticulously executed, and you read it all in one breath. Both the meetings, and you were very prompt and made sure that it was not boring at all. So kudos to you for that. Let's give him a round of applause. Coming to the President Toastmaster Shreya, again the debutante president for this term. You have a very calm tone and a very unassuming presence. Even though you are the president, you have no airs about it. You come here with so much sincerity, and you have great leadership skills, and even in your delivery, the two beautiful anecdotes that you shared made it very relatable. And I really like how you set the benchmark, and there is only upwards from here. And I would also like to appreciate how you introduce the executive, very well prepared, no looking at the notes, just looking at her, the eye contact and the way you introduced to her, and most importantly, the way you exchange the gavel. And that is going to be an unconscious practice for the rest of the term, and I can believe that. Okay, so overall, a great job done. Let's give her a thunderous round of applause. I'll come to the Master of Ceremonies in a bit. We'll directly jump into the prepared speech session evaluations. The first speech was an icebreaker by Toastmaster Ujwal. I'll request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Ajay, to share his evaluation.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. It is not done, it is ready. What a powerful statement. Is anything truly done? It's always ready for the next level. I'm definitely going to take that back home. Toastmaster Ujwal delivered a powerful speech and showed us how he can walk us through an event in his life and still explain his family background so beautifully, so intricately. We understood who his father is, what his profession is, what kind of a personality he holds, what are his values, and how he kept pushing Toastmaster Ujwal through the story. We also got a look at how supporting his mother and sister were through this journey. As usual, Toastmaster Ujwal excelled at using exemplary vocal variety and gestures. He used the stage well by moving across while explaining different circumstances in the story, be it when called upon the stage or be it when he's discussing, having a dialogue with his father. Points where Ujwal can work on is the common string through the story I felt was a bit disjoint. the title itself and the first half of the story indicates that the theme of the speech is going to be shoebox, but eventually the latter half and the conclusion made it more about sacrifice of Ujwal, sacrifice of his father, sacrifice of his sister. So the loop did not close properly. Nothing to take away from the effect of the speech itself. Finally, to challenge yourself, Ujwal, I would suggest that instead of placing your father as the subject and you as the object of his actions, if you had reversed that grammatically, it would have given us a POV of Ujwal. So that is something that I think you could challenge yourself with, where we get a POV of Ujwal into what is going behind his mind when these events are taking place in his life. In summary, I think we all not only learned that Ujwal is smart but can build smart homes. A truly unique way of delivering an icebreaker speech and a wonderful president for all the newcomers to our club. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. I'm assuming this is your first time delivering your evaluation as well. So great job done. Very good observations and very constructive feedbacks. And coming to the speaker, I would say that I completely agree with Ajay's evaluation about POVs with your father. And also, I really like how in your speech, usually in an icebreaker, we are the main characters and our parents and relatives are supporting characters, but in your story, they were all the main characters. But I also wish that at some point you would actually center it about yourself, because the icebreaker is essentially about talking about yourself, your interests, your hobby, and this felt like one anecdote about that certificate that you got, and you connected it to all of it to that. We didn't get to know about your other interests, hobbies, your skills. You're a great Toastmaster. You do amazing here week after week. You have great skills. So none of that was touched upon. So I felt like in an icebreaker, it would have been more wholesome if you included that as well. But it doesn't take away from a remarkable speech you delivered today. Let's give him a thunderous round of applause. Absolutely valuable. The second speaker was Toastmaster Midhun. I request the evaluator Toastmaster Apoorva to share her thoughts. A round of applause.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and to my target speaker, Toastmaster Midhun. First of all, I would like to congratulate him on that wonderful speech. What we witnessed today was a different Midhun altogether. He was so confident behind the lectern, he was so comfortable. It is almost like a transformation from the previous speech. And that speech was a beautiful integration of his personal story, where he shared his experience as a karate teacher and body language. He brought it in so smoothly into the speech. I know in this way the project purpose was very well achieved. The way you brought in the body language in every single aspect of your speech, from the introduction to the body to the conclusion, every aspect, what was there was the intentional body language that you brought in was very evident. Like the way you showed your respect by bending, and then there was breaking of bricks, and then there was Bruce Lee's action movement where you showed the years of training, you showed with the cycle movement. In every single aspect, what I felt was the project purpose was 100% fulfilled. And I enjoyed the display of your karate moves, where you showed your student, the way you displayed your karate moves, the finesse in those movements was very evident. It took the speech to the very next level. Since the speech purpose was conscious and subconscious body language, body movements. And I like the conclusion as well, where you said the purpose of karate was discipline, confidence, building a better character, in short, being a better human being. A great speech that was. Now to the areas where you have to work on. One thing I noticed was there was movement all through the speech, but there was too much movement. You were constantly moving from here to there, here to there. It was all over the place. You should have just avoided a little bit. Maybe you could have, spoken, delivered your speech in the center. When there was characters or the parents coming in, you should have come this side and asked the question as the parent, and I would have loved it if you had like changed your body language a little bit, showing a different person. So, you know, so when will my son be a Bruce Lee, or when will my son be able to break the bricks and all that? When you showed a different person, different character, it would have been great. It would have taken your speech to the next level. And also, one more thing is eye contact. I felt the eye contact was like here, there. And the corners of the room were totally like missed. So maybe you could work on your eye contact. And one more thing was the voice pitch was same throughout the speech. I would have loved it if the introduction was louder and the conclusion was loud. It was more with power. It was with power. It was very powerful. I know you could have changed the energy so that the audience would be engrossed into your speech, because your story was wonderful. So, and to challenge yourself, I would love it if you bring in voice modulation into your speech and bring in energy. So overall, a great speech, wonderful storytelling, wonderful addition of body language, intentional body language. Maybe you could work on subconscious movements and your hand movements, eye contact, and also bringing in voice modulation. All the very best to your next speech. Keep giving regular speeches. Thank you and over to them.
Thank you for that evaluation, Toastmaster Apoorva. It's a delight to see you in a role other than the president, and a very wonderful evaluation and very constructive feedback and very good observations made. So great job done. And Toastmaster Midhun, I agree with Toastmaster Apoorva. We've seen immense growth in your performance. Today's speech was like more of a wholesome performance than just a speech. You had equal amount of performance, dialogues and delivery. And also, one thing I really appreciate about this speech compared to the other speeches is it was immensely well prepared and the delivery was sincere, especially because you are so passionate about this topic in particular. So it came through in your speech, and I actually felt like there was a lot of voice modulation that you have attempted in this speech. So I really appreciate you on that. Maybe you can take some of the feedback she has given and improvise and make it a wholesome performance. And I really also appreciate how sincere you are about Toastmasters and how you come here and inspire the audience week after week. So great job done. The two phrases you used, building characters, not breaking bricks. Best fight is the one that never happened. Stays with me for a long time. Overall, a great job done. Let's give him and the characters. Next speech was by Toastmaster Jyothi. Let's hear from the evaluator, Toastmaster Chethan.
Hello Toastmasters and guests. I'd like to take a moment to tell you that this is an evaluation of the project, not just the speech itself. So firstly, I was a passive participant in the 8 weeks that the YLP happened, and I saw how meticulously Toastmaster Jyothi had been conducting the program with her team. And I have mentored a few of the speeches as well. The students have come to me, they've spoken to me. So I have seen the kind of hard work and the kind of topics that Toastmaster Jyothi had been pushing them through. So I know the program itself happened really well, and I'd like to congratulate her for this. Secondly, during the entire process of the YLP, she was giving her international speech contest as well. So she had to balance both of these, and she's done an incredible job of doing both things. So let's give her a thunderous round of applause. Now let's delve into the speech itself. 3 really good things I would like to point out. Firstly, your use of quotes. Things like celebration of teamwork. These were sprinkled throughout your speech, and I thoroughly enjoyed listening to that, because that's what keeps the speech moving in the right direction. Second, specifics sprinkled throughout the speech. For example, you said you had personal motive to do the YLP, and you told us about how you wanted to conduct an education session and things like that. So these specific motives and the specifics change the character of a speech. Thirdly, there was not a single wasted sentence in the whole speech. So that's the kind of speech I love because I can sit at the edge and listen word for word. Now there are two things I'd like to tell you to work on during the speech. This is not a reflection on the project, but on the speech itself. Firstly, there were a few open ends that I thought. For example, you told us about the 3 days that you took to follow up to get that 18th sign up. That story felt very incomplete. What actually happened there? I would have really liked if you had juiced that story a bit more. You had told us a bit more about your difficulties of what actually happened. Did you coax someone to speak to them? Where was Sakshi involved, etc. Secondly, there were some specific details that I thought you could have conducted better. For example, who conducted that education session? Right? Like we all got to know that a great education session happened, but who conducted it? And what did they speak about? What did the students gain from it? What did you gain from it? So a little bit of this could have changed the speech significantly, because it felt like you were giving the team credit but not enough credit, right? So I'd like to summarize the entire evaluation. The project itself, the YLP was conducted successfully. Secondly, the things you did well: quotes, you kept the speech moving without a single wasted sentence, and the specifics that you used. The two things that I'd like you to work on: give the team a little more credit where credit was really due, and close the openings. Thank you, and back to Latha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chethan. There's nothing more beautiful than a well-structured evaluation. I really like how he brought out the 3 specific points he wants to talk about and summarized the overall thing he wants to bring about while encouraging her as a speaker. So great job done, Toastmaster Chethan and Toastmaster Jyothi. I totally agree with Toastmaster Chethan about especially the credit part. I was waiting for you to name drop a few people who were essentially main characters along with you. So that would have encouraged the team also, because the whole project is about working in unison, and that would have really helped the team also feel motivated. I know it's not easy to name everybody, but there were a few main characters which would have been helpful to me. So that doesn't take away from a great speech that you've given. Let's give both evaluator and speaker a round of applause. I think we can vote for the best speaker, best evaluator, and meanwhile we'll hear from the TAPG team. So first, let's hear from the timer, Toastmaster Kiran.
Hi, good evening all. As I mentioned all the names on the board, mentioned along with the names, everyone have been excluded more than 1 minute and included 2 minutes. I should have to read all the names. Okay, the table topics, it's Toastmasters M U Bhat.
Not the table topics and prepared speech, but the starting.
The meeting started at what?
Meeting started at what? This time.
The meeting started at 6:33. It's 13 minutes. And the starting the icebreaker speech started from the Toastmaster Ujwal, and it went on from 7 minutes to 25 seconds. And project speech is from Toastmaster Midhun, that is for 7 minutes and 11 seconds, and Toastmaster Jyothi, that is 7 minutes and 51 seconds.
This is his first time as a Toastmaster and already taking up a role. For that, let's give him a thunderous round of applause. Let's hear from the Grammarian Toastmaster Sachin.
Good evening, everyone. So here's my report as the Grammarian. The word of the day was used by myself, Toastmaster Sachin, Toastmaster Sakshi, and Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. So coming to some of the good usages, progress is not just about working hard but wise. Taking a break is not a step back but refresh your mind. Seek their wisdom. A man's no is where I draw the line. Waiting on the cold stone floor. The best fight is the one that never happened. exemplify. Targets are not achieved by vision but by everyone's effort. Meticulous preparation, and leadership is not just about showing direction but helping giving their best. Now, coming to some of the not so good usages which can be done in a better way. Many students take their long time. It can be many students take their own time, or maybe a better usage would be extended time rather than using the word long time. And the second one, how she paused to progress, should be how she pauses to progress, because if you use singular in one side, there you have to use the extra s. When you use singular, for example, when do you use pause? So how they pause to progress would be the right. So if one place is singular, you use the plural the other way. And next, where are you hiding all these years can be where were you hiding all these years. So yeah, that's my report as the Grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin. That was a very meticulous job done. I really liked how you introduced your role in the beginning, and also a lot of people avoid giving not so good usages, but you had very good observations and very valuable feedback for that. So I really appreciate that, and I hope you take this grammarian role more often and set the standard of the club. Let's give him a huge round of applause. The next is our counter, Toastmaster Soorya. A round of applause, everyone.
I would like to start off by saying that all the speeches that were delivered today were well articulated and delivered, and also they were all very insightful, whereas my role as the accountant for today's meeting requires me to report on the excessive usages of words like ahs, ums, and other filler words and phrases. I would like to present my observation on the same. I would like to start off by talking about Toastmaster Jyothi's speech. It was very insightful, it was amazing, it was well delivered, but I observed that she used filler words like ums and us quite frequently, which disrupted the flow of her speech, followed by Toastmaster Ujwal and Toastmaster Midhun. Again, I would like to say that your speech was great, but I think usage of words like ands were quite excessive in the speech. Apart from that, all of you did a great job, and that's about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Soorya. This is again her debut role, so let's give her another thunderous round of applause. Just one feedback going ahead, like even if you name some people, you can be a little more gentle and like nobody disrupts any meeting, for example, so you can just take care of that, alright? So the next role taker is PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay. Let's hear from him.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As the PP role taker of the day, I don't even know what the word PP means. So yes, based on my observations, I noted that there were no phones ringing during the session, and there was no references made to religion, sex or politics, and no crosstalk was observed during the speeches behind the lecture. But there was one instance of one person coming in while the speech was going on and not during the applause. Thank you so much.
So PP is Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator. I think we should make it a practice to use it not as a short form but entirely, so that especially the new members will be familiarized with it. So let's give him a thunderous round of applause. Yes, now we can also vote for the TAPG role takers. And yeah, let's get to the evaluation of the table topic master for today. Toastmaster Latha is a seasoned Toastmaster. Whenever she comes behind the lectern, especially for table topic session, she always comes up with creative topics, and today was no different. There was a mixed bag of topics related to the theme. I really like how you always connected to the theme, and there were really great responses, and it wasn't too hard and people were able to think on their feet and respond, and everyone seemed comfortable to take up the topic, so that vouches your ability to bring out the best in every Toastmaster. So kudos to that. Let's give her a thunderous round of applause. And now coming to the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Sakshi. Toastmaster Sakshi, you're a very calm, gentle person whenever you come behind the lectern. Really sweet and nice topic about how we need to pause and think about it to progress. Really beautiful story, informative story that you started about this young woodcutter, and then you also had a personal anecdote, and that made it more relatable. And overall, I felt like it was a very neat job done. And Master of Ceremonies is somebody who connects the meeting together, acts as a catalyst, and not somebody who hogs all the limelight all the time. So I think you did that very seamlessly and made sure that everybody is introduced so beautifully. I especially loved the introductions you had to the Toastmasters today, and that speaks volumes of how you understand the role of an MC. Especially the way you introduced Toastmaster Jyothi, the three beautiful things about her, Toastmaster Latha, her favorite way to pause to progress. Even for my introduction, you used these phrases which made it more interesting because you connected to it. And a couple of suggestions for your improvement. One is, I think for the introduction of Toastmasters movement, I think you said more than 1 million people are affected. Of course, definitely, but we also would like some statistics and facts, especially for the benefit of the guests. And also, I would request you to work on your vocal variety because you have that potential. You're a great storyteller. So sometimes a sing-song, gentle tone will not serve the purpose of the overall address. I really liked how you had the energy when you were introducing the speakers, but in the first portion where you were speaking on the theme, I felt it was more monotonous. I think a little more dramatic elements, little more expressions, little more vocal variety would add value to it, but that doesn't take away from the great job you've done as a Master of Ceremonies today. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Overall, it was a beautiful kickstart to this new term with optimism, growth and desire to improve. I request all the Toastmasters to keep taking opportunities to better yourself and to better the club. With that, I hand over the charge back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreedevi, and thank you for the entire evaluation, and thank you for the entire evaluation team for those comprehensive observations. Your feedback is the ultimate tool how we sharpen our axis. It has been an absolute honor to host you under the banner of Pause to Progress. Remember, the next time you feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of trees in your way, don't just swing harder. Pause, sharpen your blade. With that, it's time to hand the charge back to our President, Toastmaster Shreya.
Okay, since it's getting late, we'll jump straight to the winners. Still 4 responses are needed from the ballots. So whoever hasn't voted, please vote. Let's start with the best evaluator. This goes to Toastmaster Chethan. Our best TAPG role taker. It goes to our Grammarian, Toastmaster Sachin. Our best table topic speaker. It goes to DTM A K Prabhakara. Our best MTG role taker, GE Toastmaster Shreedevi. And lastly, the best speaker for today, it goes to Toastmaster Midhun. We had a lovely meeting today. Thank you to all the role takers for doing their job so well. With that, I will close meeting number 1376.